a really, really terrible, unfortunate news. And that is that my subscription to Modern Warriors OF, sorry, I just looked at one of the pictures. It expires tomorrow. Now, I paid $30 for this, so I figured, and we did a review at a month ago, so I figure let's do one today before it goes away, so we can check out what's new. But before we do that, of course, let's see what Lance has been up to, because he's just come back. He's been posting a little more. So we're gonna do a brief little thing. Now, he had this interaction with Curly Daddy here, so we'll start here. Let's see what we got here. Let me turn it up because he's very low.
People, I hope you all are having.
Hey, babe, come here real quick. Shh, don't talk. We're at the beginning of the video. Okay. Let me just. What do you think?
Hey, I guess.
Okay, get out of here. Love you.
Ew, I don't want to kiss you while that's in there.
Why not? You don't want to kiss me with that on the screen? Okay. Okay, get that off my screen. Okay. Anyway, let's see what we got here.
Wonderful day. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you all are having a wonderful day.
Thank you.
I'm just here doing homework and drinking coffee.
Okay.
And I just got the idea to shout out a native-owned coffee business. You see, a very special person in my life.
You just felt the urge. It's not an advertisement.
Brought this to me. Native ground coffee. And It's really good. So if you are looking to try new coffee or support a native-owned business, I highly recommend native ground coffee. Have a good day.
What are the rules? Am I allowed to buy this coffee, or is that cultural appropriation? Because where do we draw the line? You know, I'm just joking around. I don't really like coffee too much. So,
did you guys know?
Let's see. Listen.
That the Southwest is in the worst drought it's seen in 1,200 years.
Maybe.
Yeah. The last time that it was as dry as it is right now was when the ancestral Puebloan civilization collapsed. Yeah, I'm talking about the people who made this, which is Mesa Verde, a national park in southwest Colorado.
Mesa Verde, that's in a Better Call Saul.
And this, which is Chaco Canyon, an UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Okay.
The ancestral Puebloans had a population of 10,000 people in the Southwest before they collapsed around 1200 AD. When people ask me why I have climate anxiety, I really think that they think I'm super upset about something that's like personally intangible to me, like the polar ice caps melting and polar bears disappearing. And honestly,
listen, personally, I'm fine with polar bears disappearing. I don't like polar bears. They're mean. They're very aggressive and they're very rude. Plus, they're white. We don't need any more white bears. You know what I mean? We got to get the brown and the black bear population up. Am I right, guys?
that's also really saddening. But this is the shit that keeps me up at night. Because the Colorado River Basin is drying up super rapidly, and it provides water to 40 million people in the Southwest.
I bet Nestle's taking all the water. Like, I'm pretty sure they do that. Nestle, like, steals all the water or whatever from, like, areas, and then they sell it back to you in bottles. They're like, hey, we cleaned it for you. It's like, it wasn't really that dirty. It's like, don't worry about it. Buy it back for us for $1 a bottle. Incredible.
Including myself.
Oh, I'm paying taxes for free water? Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, I'm going to steal it, and I'm going to sell it back to you.
I live in this...
I'm falling for it. I drink bottled water, so...
general area, right here, okay? But Lake Powell, one of the largest storage projects in the Colorado River Basin, is the lowest it's ever been since it was filled in the 1980s, okay?
Wow.
So it's gotten so low that they can no longer release water to create hydropower. And that hydropower is mostly used to power homes that are on Native American reservations. The Bureau of Reclamation, the federal agency that built and operates almost all of the water storage projects in the Colorado River Basin, literally predicted that there was a less than 10% chance of this happening before the end of the century.
Wow. You know what's weird to me, though? I mean, I'm listening. I'm absorbing the information. It's weird to me, like, Lance didn't, like, talk about it himself. He just signal boosted another person talking about it, which is fine, whatever. But what I find interesting, though, is that he decided to watermark the video that's not even his. Like, okay, so in order to watermark a video, you need to upload the video privately and then download it and then re-upload it, because it puts watermarks when you download videos through TikTok. So Lance put this video up of somebody else's video. Then he put it on private, and He downloaded it and then he re-uploaded it, so his watermark was on there. It's like, why? It's not even your video. But okay, who am I to talk? I guess I'm a reaction channel, right? So
10% chance. They didn't even factor in climate change, and these are the people that are managing our water.
well,
I think this
looks like there's plenty of water right here. Yeah, just walk over here. It's close. Looks pretty close, you know. Just walk. Where are you? You're Upper Basin. You just got to walk through Arizona, California. You got it right there. Mexico, maybe. It's right there. Just got to look at how big you are. All you have to do is take your arm out, scoop, and just kind of pour it in here. You know.
didn't even factor in climate change, and these are the people that are managing our water. I think this issue is really well summed up by this op-ed that was just recently published in the Colorado Sun, written by Rika Fulton and Jen Pels. You can see their names up here. Pause to read the title if you want to, but basically in the article they compare two rivers, the Dolores River and the Rio Grande River, which have both run virtually dry in the last year because of water management practices, and they have the following to say about it. I'm just going to use their words because it's really eloquent. Our water management system is flawed and failing. Water allocation systems in the West are built upon unsustainable principles and flawed science. Fundamental agreements in both basins are based on unusually wet conditions that existed at the start of the 20th century. As a result, the systems fail to acknowledge, protect, or account for the requirements of river ecosystems, the needs, cultures, and sovereignty of Indigenous people, or the value of recreation and other social or economic benefits that flow from rivers. I'm going to keep talking about these issues because it's what I got my degree in and I'm really passionate about it. So if you're interested, please like and follow.
All right, cool. What else we got? We got another signal boosted video. Arch. Oh, that's his girlfriend, I think. I think that's his girlfriend or his wife or something. Is there anything here other than... Doesn't look like it. Okay. Alright, is there anything here? They're just walking. Cool. Wild Irish Black African Native. Okay.
Whenever there are things that start to challenge women's reproductive rights, especially, you tend to...
Oh, sorry. It's such an ugly laugh. I just realized it, bro. What's the trend here, man? I don't know about this one, but what's the trend here? Oh, it is. I don't know. The trend here is that he's just signal boosting women's videos. He's just duetting women. He's just duetting women, which is funny because, like, the reason that this guy got deplatformed was because he was telling everybody he respects women and he loves women and that men shouldn't be disrespectful. And then he started sleeping with a bunch of girls, telling that he was like single and that he wasn't talking to anybody else. And then he got deplatformed for that. And now he's just signal boosting a bunch of women. And it's like, that's fine, but it's like, what are you doing? And stop watermarking other people's videos. It's crazy.
Start to challenge women's reproductive rights, especially, you tend to hear people, especially white women, invoking Handmaid's Tale. And here's why I need that to stop.
What?
Because that action...
What is Handmaid's Tale? That's a show. My wife likes that show. The Handmaid's Tale is about people who have other people give birth to them. For them? What is the Handmaid's Tale? Right? Handmaid's Tale. What is a handmaiden's tale? It's like forced slavery. Is that what it's supposed to be about? Oh, forced like reproductive slavery. Okay.
Much like the show, spins around the axis of white feminism. Let's look at the reality. The reality is that black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth. That mischaracterized stereotypes about sex-based infanticide are used to target Asian American women in this country. That we have a human rights crisis revolving around missing and murdered Indigenous women. And that the father of modern gynecology, J. Marion Sims, experimented on black women. Those are the realities that Handmaid's Tale is a shallow shadow of. And when you keep invoking that instead of the reality, what you're telling me is that it is easier for you to see your fight in fictional white women than real, living women of color. Because you're not fighting with us if you cling to their fiction. And whenever they're...
All right, so here's the fundamental issue I have. It's like it makes sense to talk about these things because like people don't know about them. That's totally makes sense. But like, why? Who cares? Like, why? It doesn't matter. They're like not. I just want you guys to understand. Stories were created to like convey values and lessons and etc. and entertainment, of course. So like Handmaid's Tale is about like it's a story about like slavery, or I guess like reproductive slavery, we'll say. And like yeah, white women identify with it more. Makes sense. White women don't generally struggle as much as other women. I get it. But like fundamentally they're fighting for the same rights for the most part, the fundamental reproductive rights, and then like, but don't do it that way. It's like, well, there's a difference. Like what you're doing right now is like you're policing the way that people do activism because you don't feel like it includes you enough. When, and I know this is shitty, when what you should do is like say those are fine, but like also these are issues that other people of color talk about. Like if the video didn't say you need to stop doing this, the whole video would have been fine. But instead it's like you need to stop talking about Handmaid's Tale and start talking about us. What it should have been is like, I understand that you identify more with Handmaid's Tale, but listen, we're having our own problems. But maybe that's like a pedantic criticism.
This is a question for my Indigenous brothers and sisters who have pursued education beyond high school.
Okay.
What advice would you give to a Native student who just graduated from high school? I'll go first. Attend a tribal college and university.
Okay.
So hear me out.
I mean, this isn't for me. I'm not going to watch it. I'll listen to it.
I attended.
You did say for Indigenous people. I think I'm like 164th Cherokee. Like every white person is, right? So I guess it's for me too, right?
And am attending a predominantly white institution. During my undergraduate and graduate programs, it's been difficult.
Why?
Yes, college and graduate school are difficult, but there are components that shouldn't be.
Like what?
What I mean by that is a tribal college and university is specifically designed for Indigenous people.
But like what's the...
A predominantly white institution will only think of you after an incident happens. May they be racist, discriminatory, microaggressive, but a tribal college and university is built for you.
Well, it just sounds like you're I mean, what? Fine. What's the struggle you're having? I don't understand. Like, you're not even telling me the struggle. But okay, sure.
Hello, beautiful people. Did you know there are 32 fully accredited tribal colleges and universities?
All right, so now he's just plugging a tribal college.
The National Indigenous Women's Resource Center is a
we gotta backpedal for women.
Native-led nonprofit organization dedicated to ending violence against Native women and their children.
That's good.
Their staff and board of directors consists of Native women from all across the United States with extensive experience and commitment to ending violence against Native women and their children. Their work is absolutely necessary when we are facing the missing and murdered Indigenous women, Two-Spirit, and relatives epidemic.
Okay.
You see, the MMIW epidemic is a sad reality that Indigenous people all across this continent face on a daily basis.
Okay.
You see, 85% of Indigenous women will experience violence within their lifetime.
Wow. Who is it from, I wonder?
56% of Indigenous women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime.
Okay.
And Indigenous women are murdered.
So it's interesting because I remember listening to something on NPR in like Alaska, I think it was. And it was like this woman, like some dude strangled this woman until she passed out, and then he like pleasured himself and like finished on her. It was disgusting. And the judge was like, whatever, who cares? And I think it was a white guy. And there's like a huge issue with Indigenous women. Just nobody gives a shit about them. Like nobody fucking cares about them. It's fucked up. Also, what I would say is that like usually when there's like this, it's like there's like a really high amount of like violence against Indigenous women. It's probably not just non-native people or non-Indigenous people, because especially considering the fact that we, unfortunately, like there's a lot of segregation. Most Indigenous people, a lot of the statistics are probably from other Indigenous people. He's not making the claim it's white people. I'm just saying it's probably like a proximity thing, which doesn't mean that there's no advocacy needed. It just means that like clearly within this, to me, this displays that there's an issue within the community and outside of the community when it comes to Indigenous women. Because our government doesn't give a shit about Indigenous people in general, but especially Indigenous women. And so, you know.
Murdered 10 times the national average. If you would like to support their work, please visit niwrc.org to donate.
But okay.
I'm not one of those awesome guys, no.
Oh my god, you must be one of those humans who have never made a mistake. Well, I mean, you never apologized for it, so that's probably why people don't like you, but okay.
White women.
All right, here we go. White women. Nice.
White women.
He loves white women. That's why he almost he sleeps with a lot of white women, but he said he would never have a baby with them. Understandable, right? That's why I found an Irish woman for myself.
I'm talking to you because it's obvious the men in your community do not like me.
True. I guess. I don't think we think about you anymore. I don't think the white women like you either, because you kind of play with their heart a little bit. But okay.
You do realize it is your sons, brothers, fathers who execute these terroristic acts all across the countries, right?
What? What are we talking about?
I'm curious, what conversations do you have around your table?
Isn't this just generalizing white people? It's kind of a little racist, you know? Like, what are we talking about? Like, like what are we talking about specifically? Oh, is this the shooting? Is this that really horrible shooting that happened? Like, yeah, that was a white guy. That was real scummy. Well, why assign that to all white men? Do you think that seems like a little divisive? But okay.
Because many black, brown, and indigenous people have expressed and told you all what conversations we have around our tables, primarily when it revolves around white violence. I was told how to conduct myself around a police officer. And so
Me too. I was also told how to conduct myself around a police officer.
Curious, what?
You know what's really interesting though? This is actually kind of we watched we watched that Ethan, the H3 Ethan thing. And Destiny weighed in on it, and I watched it. And one of my criticisms was that, like, this woman and Ethan lying about a sexual assault and promoting it as such was going to turn a lot of men off to the conversation about sexual assault. And Destiny made an interesting point, which was the same point I made, but like in probably like a better way, with better context. He's like, these cases like this, even if it's only like 1 or 2 or 3, it only takes 1 or 2 or 3 instances of false claims to turn a lot of men off to the conversation about sexual assault culture, which is true. And he's like, and a lot of people, they're like, no. They say, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Who cares? And because like it's only 3. There's others that are there. And it's like, yes, true. Like if you look at the statistics, most people probably don't lie. But we focus on those liars. It's like, damn, that could have been me. You know what I mean? So we focus on that. And it's like, it's the same thing across communities. Like when like black people, they'll have a couple of bad, like most of their interactions probably aren't that bad with police, but they'll have that 1 or 2 that are bad, and boom, that's all cops now. And it's like, that's just the way that we all perceive information. It's really unfortunate. I just popped, it's kind of popped into my head randomly. Sorry. But it was just an interesting point that I wanted to communicate.
Do you talk to your...
Like, we all do that. When we have a bad experience or something, even if it's, like, irrational to do so, we tend to be a little ignorant about it. So, it's just good to keep your mind open.
Your children about when it comes down to your people's violence? Do you at least encourage them not to shoot up a school?
Do you think that anybody encourages their kid to fucking shoot up a school? You idiot. Like, what are you talking about?
Or any public place?
I don't think that I'm making a reasonable assumption that no mother's like, Billy, when you're fucking 16, take your dad's gun and go kill a bunch of kids. Like, what do you think is happening? Do you think that's like, come on, you're being stupid, right? Like, usually what happens is some kid is being an ass. Maybe the kid was bullied, or maybe the kid has anger problems. Maybe the kid comes from an abusive home, and then there's like a gun lying around at their house, and they get access to it, and they go to the school and they shoot up school. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's not only white kids who do it. I'm just letting you know. That tends to be we tend to see those the most, but it's like, Jesus, okay. All right.
Then you have the audacity to ask us to vote for your best interests.
What are you talking about?
White women. I'm talking to you.
I just don't know what the point was there, other than to kind of just be a little racist, but that's okay. Like, if you had a point there, like, what are you talking about? Vote Trump? Or what are we talking about? I don't really know what the point was. I don't know. Fighting the urge to become a cop and then treat them the way they treat us. Well, most cops are really dumb, so you probably could do it. Listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but what did you do to become a cop? Well, I got C's in high school, and then I got a 2-year degree, an associate's degree. Maybe I got a criminal justice degree. Oh wow, so hard. I learned to get my fingerprints done. I learned what it meant. I learned what it meant to be to do the right thing. Oh my god, I'm a cop now. Now I'm gonna be a fucking asshole and run red lights. Oh, I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna speed next to some guy on the highway, and then I give him the indication that we're racing. And then when he drives 100 miles an hour, I'm gonna follow him when I'm off duty, and I'm gonna follow him home, and I'm gonna tell him give him a ticket. I always remember that moment. I'm just fucking around. I'm just if you're a cop and you watch that, well, number one, I'm sorry. Number two, take a fucking joke. All right. College fund. All right. He's doing a lot of advertisements. That's cool.
Beautiful people.
Another college fund.
Hello, beautiful.
He's signal boosting the college fund.
How are you not surprised that the Buffalo Pew Pewer
Okay.
was radicalized on the internet?
Nobody's surprised. Okay. You could probably attribute some of it to the to Tucker Carlson with the Great Replacement theory. It's very ridiculous. Okay.
Because any black, brown, and indigenous person will tell you that the internet, even this app, is a breeding ground for carrying, kicking Karens.
I don't know what that means, but you realize you are, or at least were, part of the problem. Listen, I just want you to know that social media, like, white people aren't the only ones who are radicalized on social media. Everybody gets impacted. Social media tends to, basically what happens is the algorithm responds to what you like and then pushes you closer to that thing, and it'll tease you with more extreme content. People in general I feel like people in general are a little bit violent. People kind of just like to be angry, and so that's why content like Modern Warrior blew up, because they like to be angry. That's it. It really is that simple. Now, this guy got radicalized in like an incredibly shitty racist way. Absolutely horrible. But like, you're part of it too. You have to stop pretending that like it's only white people. No, it's not only white people. You're part of the problem, bro. You're part of the radical problem, dude. Okay.
A large portion of them don't have profile pictures.
Okay.
They don't have any content, and the only thing they do is just harass black and brown and indigenous people.
There are groups of people who do that, absolutely, but that's not ever like okay. There's people harass everybody on here. You've sent people to harass other people. You've gotten people's accounts taken down for them doing like nothing wrong. So like the people do that too. Most people don't have a profile picture on TikTok because it's like most people aren't creators. I know it's a hot take. And then most people will go and bully other people when their favorite creator basically tells you to. So, okay, cool stuff.
Even Appa
I can't believe you have a white dog, bro. You're not even supporting your own kind.
knows that this is a breeding ground. Just watch. They'll expose themselves in the comment sections like always. I know, bud. Super sad. Sad.
Okay, well, it's nice to see the abysmal state of Modern Warrior. Because but anyway, your views are really low after you're not being divisive, huh? That's okay. Anyway, here's the thing, guys. That's not what we were here for. We were all here for. We know what we're all here for. Okay? We're here for this. We're here for the Onlyfans. If you look close enough, maybe you could see the reflection in my glasses. Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh, you do. Pay attention, guys. All right, like I said, we're losing this soon. So what we have to do, I already paid $40 for this thing. So I'm going to do another review on it so I can recuperate my money. Okay? $30 for the profile, $10 for a picture. Ridiculous. All right? Now there's more. Wow. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Happy Friday, friends. Thank you for your patience as I'm wrapping up my school year. I'll be posting more soon. We have this nice picture. Oh, it's sweet. Wow, it's his pickle. A little bit of it. He didn't quite show the whole thing. Wow. Okay. He's really teasing us. Oh, there it is. The whole thing. Not. Oh, didn't get to see the head. This is a picture of him chowing down. You know what I'm saying? And there's his wee-wee. And let's see what else we got here. That's it? It's been a month and this is it? What the heck? Wait, this is it? In a month you've posted another 4 pictures or 2 pictures and 2 videos? This is horrible. What are you doing? There's a weenie picture in the there's a wiener picture in the messages. All right. There's also a picture. I could buy one picture for $50. Wow. The last picture I bought was just his butt. I'm not paying $50. It's been a long week. I want you to sleep in tomorrow. I'll have a coffee and breakfast ready. Before you get out of bed, let's get your day started right. What else would you want for me to make your Saturday afternoon more stress-free? $50 for this picture. This is incredible. Or $15 for, are you up for some afternoon delay? It's a picture. One picture for $50 and $15? This one says, spoil me Saturday, ? Buy me a coffee, $10. What kind of coffee are you buying? Go buy the Indigenous coffee, Modern Warrior. Go buy the Indigenous coffee. Why do you need $10? Treat me to lunch, $40? I'm morbidly obese, and that's how much I spend for my wife and I to go out to lunch. What are you talking about? Dinner and drinks, $100? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Massage, $150. Wow. Maybe you should save up for school supplies. Modern Warrior, if you're like $10, pencils, I'd be like, maybe I'll give you $10. $50? Not, can't even get a textbook for that. $500 textbook. I'd be like, all right, maybe. What are you talking about? Shopping fun, $200. Every tip gets a gift from me today. Wow. Beautifully poetic. All right, and then it's his wiener. Okay, another $10 picture of his penis and while he's driving. Okay, well, you know what, guys? You listen. 0 out of 5 stars. This is terrible. This is horrible. Should I DM him? Should I DM this guy? Should I send him a DM? Bro, come on. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. 30 a month for this? No thanks. That's what I sent him. I said, "Come on, bro." Okay. Come on, bro. $30 a month for this? ? No thanks. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down in the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.